So if I talk about myself, so my name is Amar and I'm part of UniNets. I do have experience on different technologies. So overall, I have 12 plus year of experience and I have experience on the firewall, load balancer, cloud, DevOps, system administration, network administration. So that's the experience I have. In this demo, I'm going to cover Fortinet Firewall. I do have experience on the other firewall as well. I do have experience on the Palo Alto Checkpoint, FTD, ASA. Okay. And of course, FortiGate Firewall. So that's a brief about me. In this particular demo, we are talking about the Fortinet product, and in that's a FortiGate firewall basically. So that's we are covering in this demo. So if I talk about the Fortinet. So Fortinet, one of the famous firewall nowadays. After the Palo Alto, this is one of the famous firewall. Okay. So this is again American-based company. Okay, which have 50 plus product, and one of the product it has FortiGate firewall. Okay, that's we are going to cover over here. So if I talk about the FortiGate firewall, so this is a next generation firewall. So it is supporting like other firewall. This firewall is also supporting next generation firewall capabilities. And what is the next generation firewall? So next generation firewall is basically providing more granular control, right, on the application level. So when I talk about the more granular control on the application level, that means it is providing app control feature. Okay. So with FortiGate firewall, you can do a lot of things. You can do the firewalling, you can do application control, you can do intrusion prevention, you can do antivirus filtering, URL filtering, sandboxing, SSL inspection, all these things you can do. So basically, app control is providing you the functionality where you can control the traffic on the application level. You can identify the application traffic, that which particular application is generating the traffic, and on the application layer, you can control the traffic in a different way. So I would take example like you are generating the traffic using a Zoom application or Team application. These application has the capability for the collaboration. So you can collaborate in a different way. You can collaborate in you can do the chat, you can transfer the file, you can do the desktop sharing, all those things you can do. So let's say you just want to control that user would not be able to share the file, but rest of functionality should be enabled. So okay, so on the fire level you can do that. Before the next generation firewall, this capability was not there. That means the firewall was not able to identify the different capability in the collaboration side. But nowadays, yes, firewall has a capability to do this. Firewall has the capability to do the sandboxing. That means if you are downloading any particular file and for that file, the signature is not available, antivirus signature are not available. So based on the behavior of the file, it would be able to identify whether the file is malicious or not. So when I talk about the behavior, so it is going to analyze that whether the malicious file has a capability to do the encryption, whether the malicious file has a capability to do the replication. So that thing covered under the sandboxing. So these are the next generation firewall feature. Okay. And as you know that the firewall is not only providing the firewall functionality, but it can provide multiple functionality. It cannot be only filtering the traffic, but it would be providing you the functionality to do the connection through it. So for example, in firewall, we have a VPN. So if you just want to connect securely from remote location, so you can enable the VPN feature on the firewall. Okay. So these are the feature we have in the next generation firewall. Moving to next. If I talk about the firewall model, so FortiGate has a different capabilities of the firewall. Okay, this is on the commercial purpose. So if you have a small budget and if you are deploying the firewall for branch location, campus location, data center location. So they have a different model available, and those model has a different capability to process the traffic, right? So we have branch type firewall, campus type firewall, data center firewall. So from the branch to data center, you can deploy the firewall accordingly. They have a different product. FortiGate firewall is not only the hardware-based firewall they are supplying, but they are providing the virtual machine as well. So if you don't want to purchase the box, you can deploy the firewall on the any virtualization layer. So you can deploy their firewall in the Hyper-V or VMware, okay, wherever you just want to deploy their virtual firewall, you can deploy that. Apart from this, they are supporting the cloud platform as well. That means you can deploy their firewall on the Azure cloud or AWS cloud or GCP, Google Cloud. Okay, so they are supporting the cloud-based architecture as well. Moving to next, we have a different courses in the uh, FortiGate. And if I talk about the courses, now this has been changed. But earlier they has the course like NSC1, NSC2, NSC3, okay, NSC4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have these courses. Now it has changed. So I would share you the change course curriculum as well. So these they have a different type of certification course, and you can choose the path. Okay, basically you can go from the fundamental to the expert level type of training. So they have a training for certified 40 net certified fundamentals, which is called FCF. Okay, and that cover NSC1. Then we have a 40 net certified associate. Okay, so that cover NSC2 and NSC3. And similarly, we have a Fortinet certified professional, which is covering NSC4. Okay, so I would go with that, not an issue with the new certification path. So if you see here, what we have. So if you go with the fundamental, okay, basically you are going to learn a basic things about the cyber security, right? For example, you are going to validate that do you have skills on the understanding the cyber security terms or not. So all those things it is going to cover. If you just want to manage the FortiGate firewall, then you can go to professional level certification. Let me just share the link over here and we can talk about that. So I'm just fetching the course, latest course from uh, FortiGate itself. So you can see there are different type of courses available, right? Okay, so they have the course which is starting from FortiGate certified fundamentals to FortiGate certified expert. Okay, what we are going to cover here, we are going to cover fundamentals, we are going to cover here associate, and we are going to cover here professional. So with these three label, what you can do, basically you would be able to manage the firewall, troubleshoot the firewall, okay? You would be able to see how to manage the firewall individually and how to manage the firewall from central location and how to analyze the logs, okay? All those things we are going to cover here. Okay, so this is the main course that we would be covering more. So here, if I talk about the FortiGate certified fundamental, so here we are going to cover, you know, 20% of entire syllabus, then 20% over here, and then we would be covering around 60% syllabus over here on the certified professional. So here we would be having hands on the lab, that how you can manage the lab, how you can configure the lab, okay, how you can use the Fortinet analyzer, FortiGate manager, okay, and FortiGate firewall, how you can use all these things. So we would be covering everything over here. Any questions so far? Anyone? No question. Okay. So if there is no question, we can go ahead with the lab. Okay, so this is the lab. Let me just give you how you can access our lab. So basically, if you access racks.uninets.com, so this is our lab over the cloud. Okay, and let me just show you if I can open this on the private window. So basically, there you can provide your credential. Okay, and you would be able to log in, and post login you would be able to see there are multiple labs available. Okay, so whichever the lab is assigned to you, you can use that lab. Okay, so of course, if you are just joining the uh, Fortinet course, right, which is FortiGate firewall, so you would be having this lab access. And in this lab is a 24 by 7, right? So you can access this lab from anywhere, anytime. Okay, and since we are as an educational institution, so this website can be accessed from the corporate network as well because it is educational type of website, right? So you can access from your corporate network as well, which is from your office. So this is the lab. In this lab we have different devices. Okay, so as I mentioned that we are going to cover FortiGate firewall, which you can manage individually, which you can manage from central location, and you can analyze the log as well. So there are three components we have put over here. One is firewalls. So we have Fortinet Firewall 1, Fortinet Firewall 2, Fortinet Firewall 3. To manage these firewall from the central location, we have a FMG. So we are going to cover FortiGate Manager as well. And then we have to analyze the logs. We would be sending the logs for all these devices into the Fortinet FAG, which is called Fortinet Analyzer. So we can, you know, analyze the log into the Fortinet Analyzer as well. So these are the firewall perspective. And we have this central switch. In this central switch, we are going to create different VLAN. So VLAN for internal network, VLAN for external network, and VLAN for DMZ network, where we would be segregating. As of now, you can see that the interface of the firewall is connected to the same switch, but physical this is the same, but virtually it would be a different one. So I mean, virtually we are going to do the segregation. So we can do the segregation using VLAN, right? And assign the interface to different VLAN, right? And to provide the internet access, we have this router. These routers we have. So we have not single link, but we have multiple link over here, which is providing the internet access to these devices, right? So we are going to cover that scenario as well, that when we have a link failure, right? So how the firewall is going to switch the traffic to the other link, right? That we are going to see. We are also going to see that how the firewall is going to utilize all three link as a load balancing mechanism, so that we will see as well, right?